This is the RV Advisor Podcast with your host, Tom Alexander. Get all the latest information, trends, advice from experts, stories from the road, and more in the world of recreational vehicles. Now, here's Tom.
And welcome to the RV Advisor Podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and today we're joined by Niamh Carey. Niamh is the Solutions Coordinator at the RV Advisor. Hey, Niamh, welcome.
Welcome to me. Hello, Tom. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's really great to have you. I see you in the office fairly frequently,
Yes.
and you do many things. You wear many hats, like so many of us do there.
We do. We're kept nice and busy. It's great.
Yes, absolutely. And so Solutions Coordinator. What's a Solutions Coordinator?
Well, basically, since we started, we brought on everybody onto the team of RV Advisor. Because we get so many phone calls, emails, things like that on a daily basis. I personally know Gigi for the last 10 years. I'm from Ireland originally, but I've been under her wing now for 10 years. But I'm basically the person that before the issue gets to Gigi, I like to read everybody that reached out to us, see what their issues are, and see how we as a team can aid them. I mean, we've had just hundreds of people reach out to us, especially since we've had this whole Camping World Challenge, the storms that have hit Florida and neighbouring states, things like that. So, I mean, if you could see on our website, you can see that we have had horror stories, just absolutely terrible times for families and people that are new to the RV industry with no knowledge. I have learned a lot over the years from Gigi, so I basically read through, see if it's something that we can help people with, and then I bring it to her attention. I know her very well on a personal basis. I know the ones that she would want to see, the people that she would want to help. So I basically talk with the different people, see what we can do, see what kind of a situation they're in, their RVs are in, if they're living in them, do we need to give them housing while we're fixing the RV, and just basically things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's a really, really fun role. It's sad at times. I mean, people, you think you have bad days, but people have far, far greater issues than we could ever imagine. Just as an example, we have a lady right now that we're dealing with, and she is living in a parking lot. Soon not to be, we are going to help her out. We're getting the RV shipped down to Fort Lauderdale to us here to be fixed, but I mean, she has many medical conditions and things like that. So, yeah, we're trying to figure out the best way to get her situated and comfortable while we are going to fix her RV. But, I mean, there is just like a mountain of people with just stories and documentation. So basically, yeah, I go through everyone on a case-by-case basis and I bring it to Gigi's attention, and then we coordinate. So that's where my role came from, my title came from. We coordinate a solution for these people.
Yeah, wow, that's great. And it's funny you use the term mountains of problems, because that exactly was what I had in my next question. There are mountains of horror stories, and is there one that's unusual, maybe not so much sad, but just weird, offbeat, bizarre that you can share?
Yes, we actually have another lady that we've been talking to in the last few weeks. Her and her husband basically bought a camper from a dealership in the Midlands of the United States. I don't know if I would say it's strange. It's just honestly more unfortunate. There are so many people that, they get a taste for camping. They get a taste for wanting an RV, or you know what I mean. And they go ahead and they buy. They obviously trust their sales representative in the associated dealership, and they buy whatever extended warranty and this, that, and the other that they need or that they have been portrayed to need. So, yeah, we had this one client that basically bought the camper, got extended warranty, got, tens of thousands of dollars worth of insurance and hire and all sorts of, roadside assistance. Turns out they were doing the walkthrough on the day of her picking up her trailer. And, she was doing the walkthrough, and, they told her that they couldn't start the generator because it was in the shop, but they assured her there was nothing wrong. Come to find out, she pulled off the lot and went to her her RV rental spot, we'll say, down the road. Went to turn on the generator did not work. There was an extremely bad leak that was in the bathroom that, ended up completely destroying the floor, which these are things that you would think people would notice. But again, if you are not a seasoned RVer or somebody that is in that industry at all, they're overlooked. You're so excited that you're getting this RV. Long story short, she went back to the dealership and they gave her no solution. They said that once you're off the lot, that, there was nothing they were going to do for her. She called and called with no responses. You're already in the hole thousands of dollars from trying to buy your RV and get all of your insurance and things like that. She was left their hands tied. She had no more money to put into finding a solution for this. By the time she contacted us, the leak had got so bad that it actually had ended up the entire exterior of the unit was completely damaged. You can see bubbling. We have pictures of this. We have documentation where she reached out to the dealership. It was just horrible. It's unheard of that you would... it's the same as like going onto a lot and they say, you can't restart that car until you drive off of our... out there's like 10 things wrong and they won't help you. It's just unheard of. That is another lady that we've actually since fixed. We have since, we put her up in a hotel down here and we brought her unit in. We took pictures. We were actually able to get money out of her insurance for this. We used Gigi's personal service, which is, obviously Gigi is the owner, the CEO, the founder of the RV Advisor. She has 30 plus years under her belt in the RV industry. Many of you guys would have already heard her, obviously, on this podcast. So, once Gigi got in contact with her after I put them in touch with each other, she offered her services to her to find a resolution. And the girl was able to walk away with basically a brand new camper. She got a brand new fridge, AC unit, new generator. The damage to the exterior will always be there just because there's nothing you can do about it unless you completely tear the unit apart. And, people just don't do that. But, so there was a solution in that case. It was just when the situation came to my desk, when it came across in an email and I read it, I knew it was something I just had to bring to Gigi just because, it was just sad. It was sad to see that you spend thousands of dollars and you're given all this trust and you give it to a dealership and they just completely take your trust and twist every single thing. So, it's sad.
They kind of washed their hands of the whole situation and really you're on your own, right?
Right, they absolutely did. And I'm sure you've probably heard in prior podcasts with Gigi, the reason that she started this entire company was because she has seen over the years, I have seen, beside her, working with her, the amount of people that come to her just on a personal level or just know her from, she does so many events and she works with Make-A-Wish and she does a lot of sponsorship for people in need. So obviously when she has her main role is RVs, she decided to take that and build a community of people that could talk on Facebook, talk via email, talk via our forums. And she wanted just to get the word out. She wanted people to build awareness among each other and build a trust. It's been difficult. It's been a long road for us just because there is so many scams out there these days. People don't want to trust and they don't want to, air their laundry to people they don't know, especially if it's not even in the same state where they don't know her reputation here. It's been a battle to win people's trust, but bit by bit we have. We try our best to keep relationships with the people that we have solved problems for, and they have been so gracious in, talking to news stations and posting it all over social media about the help that we've given each other. We've helped and learned from them as well as they have from us. So it's been a great journey so far, and we hope it only gets bigger. Gigi is the mastermind behind this. She took me on when I was 18 years of age and I knew nothing. I knew nothing about business. I knew nothing about, just the ins and outs of being a big girl. So she made me put on my big girl pants, go to work.
Yeah, that's great. We're speaking with Niamh Carey, and she is the solutions coordinator at the RV Advisor. And Niamh, you said 10 years. Is that how long you've been in the state? When did you come to the United States? And where's home in Ireland, actually?
My home is on the west coast, so I am from Galway. So, a long way from home. I was in college at the time. Gigi, as much as a RV lady, she is also into horses. So, yeah, I was studying at the time. We got in contact. I had known her name just because she's obviously huge in the horse world here too.
Right.
So, yeah, I came on just as basically a barn manager, started training her horses with her. And, I mean, we just grew an incredible bond from there. I went back, finished my degree, and I came out here, and I actually stayed with Gigi for years until I met my now husband. I have a husband here now and a little baby. So, yeah, I mean, it's been amazing. I see her every week, so she's just, I mean, my home here is her home. So, yeah, I have very much a personal relationship with her. I mean, I've seen all the ups and downs throughout the years. I mean, she's a fighter, and she's made me one too. Just being around her, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's been incredible.
That kind of positive influence it just can't help but rubbing off on someone, right?
Oh, it was huge. I came here very weak, very innocent. I mean, you know, she threw me in the deep end when I started working for her as her executive assistant before I took on this role. And I mean, I've seen some awful things. Again, people just in the business world, they just want to get one up on you at any point. And she gave me the courage. She gave me trust. She had trust in me to, you know, help her with her business. And yeah, we grew. And I mean, we've seen some great things. Obviously, along the way, there's been terrible situations and business. Just, I mean, I'm sure you guys have all seen the case that she just won against General Electric.
Right.
I've lived and breathed that with her for years now. I mean, the nights that we just spent going over documents, because she knew she was right and she was not going to be bullied. Yeah. And that was just, again, the backbone to even RV advisors, people that are being bullied, that she wants them to put their foot down. So, I mean, in turn, it didn't matter the business. She just wanted a story. She wanted a baseline for people to have. And she, I mean, is the backbone of this. So if anyone ever needed questions answered, problems solved, as much as they come through me, because I am right by her side, I mean, she is there for just everyone to just help, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing, and it's an incredible service, really, that's provided through the RV Advisor. I wanted to ask you a little bit about GPS. And for those folks who may not know, GPS, we're not talking about the satellite tracking program. We're actually talking about GPS, Gigi's personal service. Just want to clear that up.
Yes.
How much has that become a huge help to people? And for those folks without it, how much of a challenge is it?
I mean, I would say for people across the board that have no RV experience at all, and they're just, you know, first-time buyers, and they're just wanting, they may be young families and they want a small camper or a small unit to go with their children, or they could be people that are retired and want to travel all of America. Regardless of who it is, I do believe that GPS has a huge role in everybody's buying situation, we'll say. Unfortunately, a lot of the time when people come to us and they want to hire Gigi as, you know, Gigi's personal services, we'll say, unfortunately it's too late and all the issues are already there. They come and they're like, oh, you've bought something and this is not working, or, oh, we bought this and now it's broken down, or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. We always advise across the board. We are trying to push people to buy this service from the RV Advisor. I mean, the fee is absolutely tiny compared to what you're going to pay in legal fees or just buying things that you don't need, that you think you need. I mean, so yeah, it's been super successful, but what we are trying to do now is, instead of having the success rate be from solving problems, we want to be there before the problems arise. So we want people to buy this service when they're like, hey, we want this unit. Like, what should we do? What do we need? How do we buy it? Is this number good? She can look over your contract. She can talk to the dealers. I mean, she's been in this industry 30 plus years. She has seen every single possible thing you can imagine. She has seen every unit come in and out. So yeah, we're basically at the point where we want people to use this before there's a problem. I mean, it's working, people are, but yeah, we'd rather see happy people from the beginning than just a huge headache for months and months where they're out money, they're out their RV, and you know what I mean, a lot of back and forth with documentation and things like that. So it's been incredible. You know, women especially are a lot more receptive to Gigi than men, unfortunately. Or, you know, actually it can be quite the opposite sometimes, just because she's a woman, and then women don't see her in such a male-dominated industry. But, I mean, once you get talking to her and you see what she can do and she's capable of, and the resources that she has, and I mean, the team of people that we have, I mean, including yourself, Tom, it's huge. It's huge what we are capable of as a team, you know, when we all pull everything together.
Yeah, and you know, I've only been with the RV Advisor for a short time, and I'm thrilled to be part of the team and doing this podcast and helping in any other sort of creative way I can. But, you know, it just feels like stepping into a family. You know, the minute you walk in the door, everybody's really friendly, and we're all really after the same thing, which is, you know, to ultimately to help people, right? And we're all kind of together, and we all come from different walks of life, and we have different backgrounds and experiences, yet it's all about the one, which is really helping folks, and you know, Gigi kind of just lights the way, and it's pretty cool stuff. And the last thing I wanted to ask you was, I know that you also certainly have your dip your toes, I guess you could say, in the waters of social media. So so tell us just briefly a little bit about what you do with that.
So I oversee, I mean, like everybody, they're on their phone 24/7. So I have taken on the role for to manage our social media accounts. I oversee everything that is posted on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube channel. I think it's very important these days to respond to absolutely everybody, especially on Facebook. People, whether it's good or bad, I feel like as a company, it's important to respond and respect people, respect their opinions, obviously, and things like that. But you know, it's been an exciting time looking over all of the comments that come in under our posts, under the horror stories, the challenges, and the photo contests, everything. I mean, it's just been fun and exciting to see. We are slowly seeing a community come together, which is exactly what we wanted to build. So yeah, I basically just post five best things to bring on your camping trip, how not to road trip, what to do when you're bringing your pet along with you on your trip. And it's amazing to see the amount of people with years experience RVing around the United States give their opinions and their tips and tricks. So it's been really fun for me and for everyone in the RV Advisor team, I'm sure, to learn and to see what everyone else does, to see where everyone's going, the pictures they post. We get them from everywhere. It's just, it's been amazing. It's been amazing to see the response that we've gotten across social media. I mean, it is such an extremely strong platform these days, but we had never expected the response that we have received so far, and hopefully it will only get, 10 times bigger. The more people we can help, the better, you know?
Absolutely, and I have a feeling we're going to make your job even busier with some new things we're trying to launch here. Obviously, this podcast is new, and we've got some other media that we're going to get out there, and so there'll be more to talk about and more to share with all the RV Advisor members and friends of the RV Advisor. Well, listen, Niamh, we really do appreciate your time joining us today. I know you had a little bit of a crazy schedule, but we managed to sync things up and get to chat with you.
Yes, I'm delighted to. It's been a pleasure.
It's been great. We had a lot of fun. Niamh Carey is the Solutions Coordinator for the RV Advisor. This is the RV Advisor podcast. My name is Tom Alexander, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening, everybody. So long.
You've been listening to the RV Advisor Podcast with Tom Alexander. This podcast is produced in association with Studio Alpha and Alexander Productions in Miami. Visit thervadvisor.com for more.